And beyond having these wonderful poets, we have the man himself, David Clark, George David Clark, who edits 32 poems. And I just want to put in a word. As someone who sort of wears, I guess, two hats, I suppose I would have to admit, as both poet and editor. Well, I show up places, and and sometimes the editor part is like that takes over, and they're like, "Oh, and you write poems too?" Well, I need to tell you that George David Clark writes poems, writes amazing poems. Poet who happens to edit a terrific magazine. So he's the author of Reveille, which is winner of the Miller Williams Poetry Prize from the University of Arkansas. His poems can be read in journals like Agni, Alaska Quarterly Review, The Believer, Blackbird, Cincinnati Review, Georgia Review, Gettysburg, Image, on and on, including, I'm very proud to say, the Hopkins Review. And he also has a PhD, so he's a doc. I find that intimidating. Matthew's shaking his head because, how many people do this sort of thing? At any rate, he's a man of parts and a poet to watch, and he will introduce our first reader, George David Clark.
David, thank you so much. I'll also point out one of my proudest accomplishments that didn't get mentioned is I've also had a poem in Smartish Pace. Another magazine that I'll read. Before I introduce Hailey Leithauser, I wanted to take a moment and say thanks to Stefan and to David for inviting 32 Poems to visit with you all today. These men are two of my heroes, and I admire them not just for the absolute excellence of the journals they direct, but even more so for the selfless generosity that they so tirelessly lavish on their poets and on the poetry community at large. So I am so incredibly grateful for everything that they do, and I'm very proud to call them friends. We should give a round of applause to those two. All right, now to my real purpose. Suppose you had a foreign acquaintance, someone who complains about our rhyme-poor, hissy English. Perhaps they're a French or Italian poet, so convinced of the musical superiority of their native tongue that they scoff at our clunky American verse and dismiss it out of hand. I nominate Hailey Leithauser as our most devastating rebuttal. If you want the English language at its most nimble, most incantatory, most beguiling, at its sonic best, these are the poems you're looking for. Nor is it only music we'll hear in Hailey's work. In her elaborate fantasies, she risks real feeling, and she complicates romance and pleasure with an unflinching eye. It seems most everyone agrees with me about her excellence. Hailey's debut collection, Swoop, was chosen from over 1,800 manuscripts to win the Poetry Foundation's Emily Dickinson Award. It also claimed the Towson Prize and was a finalist for the K Tufts. In addition, Hailey has received the Discovery the Nation Prize, Southwest Review's Morton Marr Prize, and the Virginia Art of the Book Award. She's appeared in Best New Poets, several times in Best American Poetry, and frequently in our nation's finest literary magazines. Poetry, the Gettysburg Review, the Hopkins Review, Agni. She gets around. Every so often, you'll even find her slumming it with the likes of 32 Poems. Hailey's new book, Saint Worm, just out from Able Muse, is one I've been looking forward to since Swoop took the top of my head off back in 2013. I hunt Hailey's poems in literary journals pretty much all the time, but to have this collection finally in my hands is cause for real celebration. I'll put it bluntly. If you leave here tonight without picking up a copy, you are a damn fool. What a treat to hear her read these poems aloud. Please join me in welcoming Hailey Leithauser.
you get to have a beer in your hand. First, I would like to thank the two dates for having me here. Can people hear me?
Closer.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
I want to thank the two dates for having me here, and also for publishing me in their magazines, and especially to David Yessie, because he hosted the first poetry reading I ever did, which was at the 92nd Street Y, and I was so terrified that I would not go on when I was called. And, they had to rearrange the whole reading until someone finally pushed me out on stage. I'm going to read a couple poems in swoop. And the first poem has a little story behind it. Every poem in this book, except for one, contains a palindrome. And a lot of the palindromes have O in them. And as I was writing them, I read someone, I can't remember who it was, but he said, a poet should only use the word O 3 times in their career. And I had O like 3 times in the poem. So I looked at my list of palindromes I wanted to use, and I had a lot of O's left. And so I decided, home for a lamb, home for a sheep. So I wrote this poem called Oh, She Says. Oh, she says, because she loves to say oh. Oh, to this cloud break that ravels the night. Oh, to this moon, its mouth full of sorrow. Oh, shallow grass and the nettle bird's bite. Oh, to heart's flare, its wobbly satellite. Oh, step after step in stumbling tempo. Oh, owl and oak, oh, round of black bat flight. Oh, moated attic and Esperanto. Oh, covetous tongue, oh, fat fandango. Oh, gnat tango in the hot ochre light. Oh, windward leaves in subtle inferno. Oh, flexing of sea. Oh, stars bolted tight. Oh, ludicrous swoon, oh, blind hindsight. Oh, torching of bridges and blood boiled white. Oh, sparrow and arrow and hell below. Oh, she says, because she loves to say oh. The second poem I'm going to read, this book contains several titles that were words that were kind of grandfathered into English from other tongues. And I wanted to do a German word because they have so many wonderful words like Weltschmerz and Katzenjammer. So I used my favorite German word, Schadenfreude. So often ironic, at times caustic, despotic, and always so honestly, profoundly Teutonic, that the mere sight of the word stirs a not quite contrite, slight crimp of the lip. How simple the way that it plays to our need to see someone not us, caught in the thrall of a just karmic pratfall, to snigger the gloom of the other guy's grand, moody doom. It's basic. She saddens, he gladdens. He rises, she flops. Converting enough to name a rare tonic or exotic perfume for it. Celadon fat-bottomed bottles shaped like a tear. An attar of pleasure. A tincture of voyeur that coiling adroitly at the back of the ear. All right, St. Worm starts with a sonnet named Arrhythmia. And I named it this because as soon as I got into the pattern of the poem, I realized I couldn't possibly put it into iambic pentameter. The meter was going to be totally irregular. So I called it Arrhythmia. The heart of a bear is a cloud-shuttered mountain. The heart of the mountains a kiln. The white heart of a moth has 19 white chambers. The heart of a swan is a swan. The heart of a wasp is a prick of plush. The heart of a sloth gathers moths. The heart of an owl is part blood and part chalice. The fey mouse heart rides a gaudy dust cart. The heart of a kestrel hides a house wren at nest. The heart of a lark is a czar. The heart of a scorpion holds swim and spark. The heart of a shark is a gear. Listen and tell, drums the brave heart of humans. Listen well, love, for it's pitch dark down here. You never know what poems are going to be popular, and that one surprised me. Okay, I'm going to read two of the worm poems. And this is the first one I wrote. And it came, one day I was reading, you decided to pronounce it Kenneth Coates.
Sure.
Kenneth Cox, you know? I was reading his poem, Fresh Air. And he has a line in it, what worms they are. It's a poem about poets trashing each other. And as soon as I read that line, it's like, oh, worms, that's perfect for me. I can write little short, squiggy lines, and write it out loading things, which I love to do. So I got in the bathtub, and the first sentence of this poem came to me, and I have no idea where it came from. It's as much a surprise to me as to anyone. But after I wrote the poem, I went back and I found the perfect epigraph. The name of the poem is I Shall Name the Worms, and the epigraph is by Cummings, and he said, worms are the words, but joy's the voice. I shall name the worms who feast on me, Eloise and Dot, old Alphonse and Cecily. What chivalry this mob shall see, my lightsome Dot and spotted Eloise, and kicking off his crutches, what palatial bacchanal for old Alphonse, with never far behind divine and temperate dear Cecily. They will have a tambourine or three, a painted set of antique castanets, and emblem bugles bright as winter's sun. Their dance will start, for once, at 1, and last until it's time for tea, when they may pause their clubbing folderol to ask, I wonder what poor sap has set us to this task. A secretary, cook, a cop, a cellist, a micrologist. And did she ever dance as we, or sing or fling her questions at the stars with eyes as wide as plum jam jars? Did she often stop at evening light to watch a bat or laugh beneath the gentling of a trembled willow tree? Did she place love in her palm, or did she roam in rain alone? The moon will rise, the sea will sigh, the freckled-smiled Eloise will widen as she chomps, and old Alphonse and Dot will flap their gums in a confederate fair harmony, echoed by a single softened afterthought, wafting late, when half-flat note unshepherded, almost unheard and unperceived, from tittle, gassy Cecily. Thank you. Well, it was a lot of fun to write, and I have no idea where it came from. But so after that, I started writing other worm poems, and I decided that I really needed to write one called Bookworm. And I couldn't get a handle on it until I did a little internet research. And I found out that what people were calling bookworms were the larvae of something called Zestopium rupinosum, or it is better known, the death watch beetle. So that fitted with the theme of the book, the bookworm. This is the stuff. The bright purple juice upon the grape could blither and faint for, swilling and swallowing vowel and consonant, macron, haycheck, ogonek, and umlaut, confounding the mouth with curlicue, dot, straight Roman numeral, serif, and loop. This is the gist, salty and sweet, the chewing, the sate, garamon, blackadder, Christina, script. Here is the clam bake, potlatch, a shimmy, a picnic, a barbecue blowout. Stick a fork in it slowly, so slowly that each perfect word steep brown in its paper. Let paper be pulp, let pulp be pastiche, let grist greet the gullet, fowl bless it solemnly. There's room for us, place, there's space for the ages. We're all scribbled on water, bring out the dead. And now I'm going to read a poem, my first poem that appeared in 32 poems. I got a prompt for this from the poet Amy Beater, who, if you don't know her, go read her, she's fabulous. And I was stuck, I couldn't write something. I had the idea for this poem, it's an acrostic poem, and it's called the Pickpocket Song. And I asked her for a quote from one of the poems she was working on, and maybe I could use as an epigraph for inspiration. And she said instead, she said, I'm going to give you 2 lines from the draft I'm working on, and you have to incorporate one of these lines into your poem. And then when you write your first draft, send it to me, and I'll take one of your lines and incorporate it. And that's what we did. And when we were done, we both liked our poems. And I said, where do you want to send them? And she said, 32 poems. And so she sent them in for me. And that was my first appearance. The Pickpocket Song. Tickle a backside, pal, fiddle the wrist. Hither then sterling, then amethyst, onyx. Eager spills eelskin, python, seal leather, platinum and plate, all cabbage, all cheddar. I say to the cut purses, straighten and sing. Let us carol each quick, sticky digit, all 10, for my kith can fleece your kin, and then some. Proudly and soundly down sheer to the skin. Only we dippers can psalm such a trilling, cash slips and coppers, all harmony belling. Keen-fingered lifters, join in with them. Each bracelet, each necklace, each pearl circled pin, topaz and lapis, square perfect carats swearing their ritzier whisper and pinch, over and over the nimble thumb catch. Noble this music, good, noble, and able, grandeur for soul chums, black glory for table. This next one, thank you too much for each one. This next poem is dedicated to Diana, who read the limerick, because she gave me, in my dotage, as I say in the beginning, she gave me a copy of Wind in the Willows, which I never read. And there's my favorite part of the book. Don't know Wind in the Willows, everyone else on earth read that marvelous book, and if you haven't, go read it. My favorite chapter is the chapter where Molly and Ratty are at Molly's house, and it's Christmas, and there's no food, and they send the mice out, and they bring in all these wonderful groceries, and they have this big feast. And so I have this big chair I like to sit in, and so I call this poem Molly's Chair. All for the love and the flutter of a custard, for the slosh of a chowder, its dumpster and sopping. All for the reverence of bread crust, the palming and weight of an egg with a spatter of pepper, box groundly pungent, freckling and stinging. For the warming of cider with spices and bourbon and butter. And for the love, not less, of the Times and the Globe and a dozen reviews. I call out for the dusk and its dimmet, the casting of flame light, the climbing and etchings of flame light. All for 2 elbows, a lap rub, and grateful repose of untroubled buttocks. I give praise for its cushions, cushion its coil, for a mustard and cracker and dry Spanish port, for the blended deep breath of fruitlessness, sluggardness. I hold in my prayers its tassels and wrinkles, anoint with soft drool its patches and stain, guard in my heart its orange, threadbare chrysanthemums, the petals and sepals of each oversized, nature-stained, blanched and embroidered, burst gusset burgundy rose. Our next poem is a poem first getting started, and I called a small sonnet. And I call it that because it's 14 lines, but instead of being a pentameter, each line is 5 syllables long. It's called Dumb Luck. When a punch is ducked by a fall-down drunk, or the bank is broke by a hard, sharp blink, then you know it's struck like the tinny clink of a rusted clock. Such a timely clink, and we're back and swank, with our shamrocks plucked, with our baskets dumped, with a carom crack of a dead stroke whack, and all 8 balls sunk. The next poem is called Angels. I was getting really annoyed with how people think of angels as these mysterious figures that come out on the country road and change your tire for you or do good luck and things. In the Bible and in other religions, angels they're not so nice. You see an angel, there might be some bad stuff coming. So, this is, angels are not your feathery friends. When they cry sometimes, eminent bridges go down, and when they waddle the earth, small towns become great indentations. They husband a wrong fondness for salt, hauled out in incalculable sacks on mountainous shoulders. Trashed, they heave to oceans. Their voices, though gorgeous, often did coarse and disengage ashes. When they speak, men break. Women turn dead or tally up rabbit. How am I doing on time?
About there.
Not there, okay. 2 quick poems. This is probably the darkest poem in the book and one of my favorites. And I think I love it because of the first line. It's called The Hangman's Song. They say that heaven is sodden with light. Just heaven and earth and 6 feet to go. Just earth and heaven and 10 little toes, ruffled and fluttered in 10 tiny rows. They say that the way is doddering flight, a lurch and a jigger, and left between clouds and cold ground stays a creaking thing of wood and of air and of greasy string, not collecting the sky, but getting close, with gravel and snow blowing up his nose. And then the last poem was the original title of the book, before I started writing The Worms. It's another acrostic. It's called The Cannibal Song. Today I found some flowers, 3 in a row. Yellow, yellow, yellow. How poetic it made me feel. All that sunlight pouring evenly into their bakers' mouths, into the brave beggarly cups of their hands. Another man or woman might have walked on past, not stopping to notice the mouths, not stopping to notice the hands, interested only in her own internal light, biting his lip against the yellow brightness. However, as I may have mentioned, I have the soul of a poet. Love of the world fills me as rain fills a battered rain barrel. So much love that I carry a small knife wherever I go. So much love I carry a small silver fork, a spoon, ornate and profound cutlery spilling from my pockets, napkins, salt and pepper shakers, a Murano glass, graceful to the hand, etched with shepherds and cloud-colored land.